Hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, wherever you may be. Happy Wednesday. It is time for midweek motivation and mind check. I am Nisi Black, your relational strategist and founder and CEO of Life Smarts LLC. I'm an agency that provide technical skills, leadership skills, self-development in your personal space and in your business space. And I am so excited to come to you every Wednesday, or most every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time to give you maybe some wisdom, some motivation, some encouragement. Check your pulse on where you are with your goals, everything that you want to accomplish. See how you are progressing throughout your week. And just share what's going on with me. I want you to share what's going on with you. So it is a beautiful spring day here in Oklahoma City area, and I am just loving it. People are out in their yards. I don't know if you can hear lawnmowers in the background, but folk are out. I happen to have gotten all of that done this past weekend. I'm still feeling a little bit of the soreness from playing in the garden and getting the yard beautiful, and I just love springtime. Except for the allergies, don't really care for the allergies. But it is a beautiful day that the Lord has made, and I am so excited. I'll tell you why I'm excited. Because I am on this side of the dirt. This side of the dirt, that means I can still create an impact. I can still correct what went wrong. I can still do the things that I want to do. I can still get out and touch somebody's life. Right, and make it better. So thank you for joining me today. I am excited that you're here. I know that there are a gazillion other places that you could be right now, but you're here with me. And if you're catching the replay, I appreciate that too. Hi, Annette. Thanks for joining me. So, hey, I don't have a whole bunch of spiel to give to you today. I just wanted to come to encourage your spirit, encourage your heart, to let you know that, it's not over, to stay the course. Because let me tell you, there's been so much in the news these past few days or this past week. There is so much going on in this world that we have zero control over. We have zero control over because every human being has their own choices. They can make their own choices. And sometimes good people are at the mercy of the choices that bad people make. And it's an unfortunate thing. But in spite of it all, God is still in control. And God still has the final say. And for those of us who believe and yield our will to the Lord, then we can trust. Stand strong, stand firm, that He is doing everything for our betterment. Right? So I don't want you to lose faith. I don't want you to lose confidence in Him or confidence in your abilities. There comes a point in our lives where we have to move past just the silliness and the rhetoric of day to day and get down to business on what's really important and focus our energy, our strength, our voice to that. So it's up to you to decide what that is in your life, in your space, and what you want it to be for your world. Right? What I create in my space may be different than what you create in yours. So each of us have a responsibility to shore up those areas in our lives and in our space where we want to do better, where we want to grow, where we want to see flourish and create and continue to create an impact. So just thinking about some things in my life and what I want to see come to life, I'm making some adjustments. That means that I have to separate myself from some people, from some places, from some things. I have to change the way I do business. I have to change the way I process information. And it's always a learning process for me, which is kind of exciting because learner is number 4 on my StrengthsFinder talent. My top 5 are relator, strategic, connectedness, learner, and restorative. So I am a forever learner. I love learning and I love applying what it is that I'm learning. I did not always know how to do that. I would just take in information, and I'm so busy looking at it and analyzing it and massaging it that it took me a minute to get it out into execution. But I'm well past that now. So I know that there are a lot of things that I have control over that I can do, I can create change for, I can lend my voice to. And I want you to do the same thing. I want you to look at your life and your space and your business and your relationships or whatever area of your life that you want to create change and see what is it that you can do. No shame. It doesn't matter what didn't go right. It didn't matter what happened that threw you off course. None of that matters now. There is nobody to blame for your lot in life. There is nobody to blame if you're not choosing or willing to get up. So no shame, no blame. Personal accountability and personal responsibility is a must. It is a must so that we can create the change and the impact that we want. And in the process, we got to stay encouraged, right? In spite of everything that's going on around us, in spite of everybody who says you shouldn't do that or you should do it like I do it, in spite of everybody that want to put their mouth on you, in spite of everyone that want to point fingers at your dream and tell you that it's not going to work, in spite of all of that, you got to stay encouraged. You've got to stay grounded in who you are and whose you are and stand firm in that. Now, let me be honest and let me be really authentic. There comes a time when I want to cuss some folk out. There comes some times when I want to go on Facebook and blast you from here to yonder. Right? I do. Sometimes I feel that way. But I don't, because I want to maintain a higher standard of excellence in how I operate. I want to maintain a level of excellence in the things that I do and what I say. So sometimes it takes me shutting up my mouth. Sometimes it takes me going somewhere and sitting on my hands, because I think about what I'm about to say. Is it going to be productive? It might make me feel good. Telling you off might make me feel real good. But what is it accomplishing in the long run? What is it going to do for me when I have that tugging on the inside and the Lord is telling me, now look, I done told you that I got this. Will you let me just do my job and you sit over there and watch me work? Sometimes I have to shut myself up and go sit down somewhere and let the Lord handle those things. And that's a process, because in my flesh, in my humanity, I want to tell some folk off. I want to go off. And honey, I can be sarcastic without you knowing I'm being sarcastic. I can read you without you knowing that you've been read. And then you get down the street and go, you know what? I think she told me off. But I don't have to do that all the time. And I'm learning when it's appropriate and when it's not. By all means, I am not naive enough to think that I'm going to let some people fool me or get over on me or take advantage of me. I have learned my lesson the hard way, and it has been a painful lesson. It has been, sometimes you just don't want to go through some things, but there's no way for you to learn that lesson until you have been on the other side of that circumstance or that situation. And it's okay, because it takes you quieting yourself and saying, Lord, what is it I'm supposed to get out of this? I don't see it. I don't understand it. Will you show me the lesson that I need to get out of this so that I don't make that same mistake again, so that I don't connect with those same type of people again? What is it in me that's attracting this type of person? What is it that I'm doing that's bringing that type of energy into my space? And it takes a little bit of self-evaluation, which is not always fun, because sometimes we don't want to check ourselves. Sometimes we don't want to own up to whatever it is that we're, those vibes that we're giving off. And sometimes it's just a matter of trying to be everybody else's everything or savior or answer to their problems when you really can't be. I scroll through my timeline and I start typing up my comment on somebody's post, and I have to slap myself and say, wait a minute. You don't have to answer every single freaking thought that somebody puts on social media, or I will be there all day. And then I'd have to spend the energy justifying my position. I don't have to do all of that. It ain't necessary. It's a waste of my time. Thanks, Michelle, for joining me. Hey, Latara, thanks for joining me, darling. So what I want us to do is get to the point where we are no longer shamed by our past, no longer shamed by the mistakes that we made. We're no longer blaming who did what and how come things didn't go right and what didn't turn out the way I want us to get past that blaming other people and not assuming the responsibility and accountability for ourselves, for our thoughts, not arresting our own thoughts and our own actions. I want us to get to a point where we have decided that we're going to maintain a standard of excellence in how we operate and how we speak to people and how we interact. Right? We've got to have a standard. And once we get that, and once we're firm in who we are and whose we are, then a lot of this little petty stuff won't shake us. I don't have to get all up in arms because somebody else is. I can maintain that peace in my space. And I will know when I see them coming, baby, when they hit my inbox, this person don't mean me no good. All they want to do is sap the strength and the energy and the joy out of my space. And you know what? Delete and block and delete. Delete and block, whatever it is that I need to do. I have no apologies for blocking people or unfriending people. I go through my timeline and I see people that are perpetuating witchcraft and talking about stuff like that. It's like, okay, delete and block. I ain't got time for that. I don't need to justify who I am. I don't need to justify my God. He's got some big old shoes and he can justify his own self. He can prove to other people who he is. I ain't got to do all that. However, in my space, it's going to be all about creating my peace, my energy, my fortitude, everything that's going to keep me grounded so that I can encourage myself, so that it's easier when when real trials come, baby, when real life hits you, none of that pettiness will matter. All of the energy that we're expending on people who inject themselves in our lives just for the purpose of throwing us off, they won't matter. So I need to save the strength and peace and joy for the times when life really hits me where it matters, right? And I want us to be to the point where we can encourage ourselves and we can encourage each other and we can pray for each other and we can, sincerely, not, oh, I'm praying for you and you going on about your day, but sincerely pray. Somebody is in my thoughts and they're in my prayers. And I pray all day. I ain't got to be kneel down with my eyes closed and my hands in the position. I can have a conversation with God like he's sitting right there in the chair. And I do that sometimes. Like, Lord, that show was funny. I don't know what you meant by that, but I gave you the authority to rule my life. I gave you permission to come in and let your will be done in my life. I yield myself to you. So I know you got me. It looks funny, but I know you got me. So we got to get to that point. No shame, no blame. Encourage ourselves, assume responsibility, maintain a standard of excellence in our lives, and be able to encourage someone else. There comes a point in time where we have to get over the victim mentality and everybody is praying for you. Pray for somebody else and be sincere in that. We can no longer continue to suck on the bottle and drink milk. We got to be strong in the Lord and eating some meat, some ribs, some steak, right? Some meat. Let's get rid of the bottle and the pacifier and the little candy ring where we're just sucking on it in the corner. Oh, goodness. It's a beautiful day, y'all. I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you sincerely to embrace who you are. Be strong in the Lord and separate yourself if you have to from those people that you know don't mean you any good. Block and delete. If you got to unplug to recenter and to refocus and to get grounded, then do that. Take the time necessary. And Latara, she posted something on her Facebook page about looking over her life and her space and redoing some things. We ain't got to kill ourselves in business. We ain't got to be burning the midnight oil in business. We can have a life and enjoy our family and still do business and still make an income. Just because somebody is up at 1 o'clock in the morning talking about who's burning the midnight hour, making that money, yeah, sometimes you got to do that. But if you got to post that you're up at 1 o'clock on Facebook, okay, I ain't going to go there because somebody going to be in my inbox I'm talking about them. And I ain't thinking about you. I'm talking about me and my space. I want to go to bed when my husband go to bed. I want to get up and make breakfast for my husband. I don't want to be tied to my phone and messenger and email. I don't want to have to do all of that. And I still can create an impact. I still can create income. I can still do the things that are purposed in my life and my heart to do. So thank you guys for taking time out with me today. I have enjoyed myself, and thank you for letting me vent, letting me release this. I encourage you. I pray for you. And I want you to encourage yourself. Be strong in the Lord. Be secure in who you are and the purpose that He's designed for you. You don't have to hook yourself up to the wrong wagon, right? Oh my gosh. When you know who you are, baby, and when you are secure in who you are, it don't matter what folk on posting on social media. It doesn't matter what they say. At the end of the day, ain't nobody paying your bills. Ain't nobody writing your checks and sending your kids to college and taking care of your elderly parents or doing any of that for you. So stop worrying about what folk gotta say. Baby, woo! Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I am so thankful to God for getting me to this point in my life. And I am so appreciative that He did not let go of my hand all the many times that I let go of His. I am so grateful that I have that peace in my heart and that peace in my mind. And I can let folk go. I ain't got to apologize, baby. I ain't got to say I'm sorry, not sorry. No, I ain't sorry. And I'm not sorry for being sorry. You know, none of that. Sorry, not sorry. I hate that. I hate that. Because I ain't sorry. Okay, I'm through. So thank you for spending time with me. If you are not subscribed to my Facebook Lives, do that because I'm going to be interviewing with Rhonda Knight Boyles, my amazing certified strength strategy coach. She got me hooked up with this Strength Finder baby, and I took the Strength Strategy certification program, started back, I want to say, in June and July of last year. And I am completely done. It has changed my life. It has changed my thinking. It has changed how I see myself and why I think the way that I do and why I feel the way that I do sometimes. And I can choose differently. And I got to tell you, I've got one more oral exam and then I'll be certified. I'm not a Strength Finder coach. No, I just use it as a tool in my life and the lives of the people that I coach and that I mentor and that I consult with. It's a great tool. I'm no Rhonda by any means, but I honor and I value her for opening up that tool for me. So I'll be interviewing with her a little bit later. So stay tuned. I want you to have a blessed day. No shame, no blame. Maintain your standard of excellence, your standard of living, a standard of accountability and responsibility, right? And encourage yourself. Encourage others. Okay? Remember who you are and whose you are. Okay? Have a beautiful day. And I'll chat with you a little bit later. All right? Y'all stay sweet.